Welcome back. You're still tuned in to News and Views with myself, Salailo Makwidiri. The time is at 9:39. We are well and truly within the second hour of the show, and we're going to switch gears now, focus a bit closer to home. There's a landmark ruling from the Johannesburg High Court, which is making waves, affirming that South Africans now have the right to question and film police officers without fear of arrest. Many see it as a win for civil liberties and will probably change the behavior on the ground for traffic police, for the SAPS. We've seen social media videos lots of times where there seems to be traces of abuse from members of the SAPS. People naturally, as it is the case in these century, in these days, 2024, 2025, the future, well, take out your phone and start taking a video, asking questions, and you'd see phones being snatched, being thrown. You don't have the right to record me. Well, the courts seem to think otherwise, and we're going to be unpacking that. What does it mean for you? Your interaction with the police, does it change it? And we have crime expert, Chad Thomas. He's an organized crime expert who's going to be unpacking this for us and giving us insight on what it ultimately means for you. Is it meant to protect you? Can you, all the time when you stopped by the sites, just pull out your camera, start recording, or do you do it? When you feel threatened, you feel like there's an abuse of power that's about to take place. I think Chad will be unpacking it for us quite quickly. Chad, thank you so much for giving us your time. Really appreciate you joining us this morning, and welcome.
Very good morning to you. Very good morning to the listeners from a very chilly, rainy George this morning.
Oh, yeah, it's winter. I think all of us are trying to warm up, bundle up. But the good news, well, maybe the SAPS might not consider it as good news, or law enforcement might not consider it as good news. Landmark ruling from the Johannesburg High Court. You can now record the police without fear of being persecuted for it. Was this not always the case? Because we've always seen people do it, pulling out their phones when they've been, stopped by the police, when they feel like they're threatened or there's an abuse of power about to happen. Have we always been here, or people are breaking the law essentially?
Look, there's always been a lot of confusion. We live in a digital age. We're encouraged to use these digital devices to record. A lot of people have dash cams. Dash cams are installed. Some of these dash cams have sound as well. Some people have rigged dash cams not just to film what's in front of them, but also what's behind them. There's also dash cams in vehicles so that people can monitor their staff. And if people are pulled over by the police, sometimes these dash cams are running live to a control room somewhere else. And of course, you get people that get out of their cars, they use their cell phones to record, and maybe in public places. There's so much that's happening in this digital age in respect of surveillance, and there's so much to unpack because there's so much confusion. Like right now in Johannesburg, before the court, there's an application to stop the city of Johannesburg from applying bylaws where people have to license their CCTVs that are facing public spaces. Yet the legislation over the years has changed and been quite specific. So if you look at RICA, for example, and you look at the recording of an individual. So let's not just talk about digital surveillance, which is object. It's about recording. So an audio recording. If you and I are in a conversation and we're sitting in a restaurant together and somebody joins us, there's three of us in the restaurant, I'm participating in the conversation and I'm recording the conversation. My cell phone is on the table. I'm recording the conversation, but I don't tell the two of you that I'm recording the conversation. It's actually legal because I'm there. It's single party content. I've given consent because I'm part of the conversation. I'm recording it. However, if I leave that cell phone on the table, I get up and I go to the bathroom, anything that gets recorded while I'm away from the table is actually illegal because I'm not there to give my consent, my implicit consent. So all of these things over the years has caused a massive amount of confusion. Now, if you can have a dash cam, if the police can wear a body cam, well, what's the difference with you recording them if you pulled over? You have your right. You want to ensure that the correct story is relayed. You have this digital aid that can assist as evidence. Because in the past, it was a he said, she said situation. The cop said, no, they did this. You said, well, actually, no, I did that, but there was no evidence. now you've got these devices at your disposal that you can use to make that evidence so much clearer, so much more admissible. So I think it's a win for the public to now understand that they're not actually doing anything wrong when they're recording. You don't need the consent of other parties, provided you are a part of whatever is happening. And that is what's so critical. But then, of course, you have to look at other aspects. If there are children involved, you can't show those children. If you're in court and the people haven't been properly charged and it's a serious crime where there may need to be an identity parade, you can't film those people. So under certain circumstances, yes, you can film. You be pulled over by the cops, you can film it. But if they're arresting a rape or a murder suspect, you can't film that person and put it on social media, because you may ruin the opportunity for the state to have an independent identity parade for that person.
Very, very important points that you're mentioning there, Chad. Just lastly, before I let you go, for those that are listening, I know you just unpacked it briefly. How should they be going about this? In what instances do you think it'll be, okay to pull out your phone to record? And how should the public, view and start using this tool?
Like I mentioned, we're already doing it all the time without even realizing it. There's dash cams, there are CCTVs, there are all these devices that are constantly recording wherever we are. So if you are involved in any situation, anything that you believe that could be suspicious, or you want to make sure that your side is correctly recorded, take it out, record it. As long as you're not recording something of a serious nature that could compromise police evidence at a later stage. In other words, recording a suspect, that footage then gets shared before that person is identified by the victims. But in all other instances, if you're pulled over by the police, there's no reason at all for you to be prevented from recording that interaction.
Do you think SAPS themselves, need to change how they train their officers in light of this ruling?
Definitely. There's been confusion about single-party consent recording for many years, and it's something that really needs to be form part of the training. Police themselves, that part of this year, I think remembers the implications of interactions. Well, what prevents you as the civilian from recording the interaction?
I think we're going to leave it on that note. We just lost Chad for a moment there. Chad Thomas, organized crime. I think unpacking a very, very important ruling by the Johannesburg High Court. The fact that you can now legally film police. It is well within your rights. They can't tell you that you can't do it. You can't do it. But when it's those moments that Chad mentioned, whether it's an arresting of an offender or anything that might put a court case into disrepute, maybe just don't do it. Just do it when you feel like you are under threat, or maybe there's police power abuse that is taking place. I think you can definitely most record, and I think this is a ruling that most of us in the public can appreciate, because there's been a lot when it comes to how South Africans interact with the South African police services and the traffic police. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, News and Views continues.